presented by B.A.S.S Pro Shops.
Oh boy, it is finally here, my second favorite day of the week. And of course, that is semifinal Saturday in Macomb County, Michigan. Oh, Bassmaster at Lake. It has been a showdown, a throwdown, a big fish mowdown this week. And look at the top of the leaderboard. Koyu Fujita, who is an Elite Series rookie, 26 years old, already won 4 Angler of the Year titles in Japan, 6 individual events in Japan, and this is his 7th Elite Series event, and he most likely has made his 3rd top 10. 2 of those also top 3s, but right behind him, Smallmouth Disneyland, Takumi Ito with 65 pounds, 4 ounces, and don't forget, sneakily and a little quiet in the weeds, you might not have noticed this tournament, but Brandon Lester has found himself in 3rd place, Cowboy in 4th, and Cooper Gallant trying to chase down his very first Elite Series victory. Brian Schmidt. Now, Brian Schmidt went on stage yesterday and literally was angry. He said he made a miscue. He said, I am going to catch a giant bag today. Jacob Fouts has an uncharacteristically but man, turned around here. Ed Loughran the same. The barrister in the mix. It's always a good day. And it's a good day for sailing on this special body of water. But the guy I'd like to sail away with right here, the Z-Train, Mark Zona.
Yeah, no doubt, Dave. And really, you know what? A very cool morning. I was actually able to hang out off the Bass Live, the mix session with Bowman and a lot of the anglers that came in. And it's amazing how calm Bowman talks. If you notice the last few days during our live, I've slowed things down a little bit because there are stimulants everywhere. There is Mountain Dew, there is Copenhagen, yet he is cool as an outlaw, an Arkansas outlaw. But something that I was listening to, and Chris Aldane nailed this. He had Kobe Krieger and Chris Aldane, and Bowman teed them up on Fujita and Taku Ito, and why you're seeing those 2 Japanese anglers excel on this body of water. The obvious states, they're very, very, very powerful, very good with forward-facing sonar, but there is obviously another element in their game where they excel on a lake like Lake St. Clair that we call the Gunnersville North jokingly, but that's what it is, Dave. There is so much pressure here, and the little small detail to finesse where they are able to outfish an angler next to them. You can't put into words what they are doing on this lake right now with the pressure that's around them. The other thing to really look at, where they've come from, okay? I've fished with Taku a bunch, and Taku is not used to going to lakes where you can get a lot of bites, where you can get a ton of bites and catch them and catch them and catch them and catch them. This is fishing Disneyland for an angler like Taku, just for the simple fact he grew up fishing for 3 to 5 bites a day.
Well, he might be on Smallmouth Disneyland, but I got to be honest, before we move on, I mean, this has been like a week at Disneyland with you, and I have a little gift.
What?
A lot of shows. I got parting gifts for you. You know, you're not leaving yet. You're sticking around, but, I mean, I don't want to make Davey Height jealous, but I did get you a little gift because
this has been the best week ever.
Really, it has been a lot of fun, Z, but this will mean nothing.
Bass Live Disneyland.
The gifts that keep on.
Oh, my gosh. Look, this is an inside joke. I don't want to be an elf. I want to be a dentist. We had this one day when we were melting down, taping a show together. It's from the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And if all of you know, I told Dave, I don't want to be a television show host. I want to be a dentist. That's good stuff. Thank you. Let's go into a midday report. That was awkward, but it was good. I don't want to be an elf, Karen. I want to be a dentist.
Why can't I be a dentist? Toyota midday report and lots to report as we've had day 133 bags over 248 of them. And this is your Toyota midday report for semifinal Saturday. And let's start with a guy that has a nation watching him, Cooper Gallant.
Yeah, he really does. Cooper Gallant getting it done in Anchor Bay. And here's the one thing that we did talk about a little bit yesterday. if you fish Lake St. Clair in mid-April to late April, you understand the massive size of the school that these guys are on. And call it, Dave, really a 3 to 5 mile stretch. And we talked about yesterday because you started to hear some other anglers say, oh, they're going to cannibalize each other and they're not going to bite on semifinal Saturday. Yet, yes, they will. Yes, they're going to. The only thing that really dictates when you're on a mega school on Lake St. Clair, I was just talking to Bowman about this, watching Cooper Gallant right here. Big tournament for the young Canadian angler. The only thing that dictates a massive mega school like that leaving is when they either decimate the forage that they're on or that forage move. You can have the best spot on Lake St. Clair, and a lot of our anglers check some of those spots on the Canadian shore. If the food is not there, the bass are not there.
Well, Canada, be careful because the Cowboy is on the pole, and he's trying to win his second Elite Series event in his rookie season.
Exactly. We could start to kind of dial in a little bit of the area. It's a big area known as the dumping grounds across the Canadian border, across the shipping channel. Looking at Joey Cifuentes, obviously a lot of his work done with the drop shot. Very good with that forward-facing sonar. And the one thing about Cifuentes, not catching a ton of fish, but the quality's been there. I think today, really today, was the X factor for him because he is in of this wind. And look, even though it's rough where he's at for this lake, Dave, you've been here, that is not that bad. Joey Cifuentes obviously still in the mix, currently unofficially 4th place.
Joey Cifuentes, unofficially our leader in Dakota Lithium Rookie of the Year race, but I feel like a silent tournament. Brandon Lester hasn't made a lot of noise, but man, he makes stay on the scale.
He sure does. Really kind of looking at Brandon Lester's career on this body of water, does a lot of work in the main St. Clair River, fishing shallow, a little bit of deep water fishing. Really haven't seen Brandon Lester fishing in the St. Clair. That probably has been one of the in this tournament. Generally, you know, you get near the end of July, you start to hear the Scott Dobson name quite a bit up there. A lot of local tournaments won by him. The river, not that big of a factor in this tournament so far. Brandon Lester, like so many other, really this tournament's going to come down. Can a Brandon Card, can a Joey Cifuentes, those two anglers beat the contingency that is in Anchor Bay?
But don't forget about Smallmouth Disneyland. He told us this morning it doesn't open till 10 o'clock, but when it opens, I mean, it is the Zumba Flume, Space Mountain, all that, and Takumi Ito. You could have circled this event and imagined he's going to be in the mix. I mean, his northern record is ridiculous.
Nothing is working right now. You know what? Everything is working at the same time. Taku Ito. And I'll tell you what is amazing really throughout this tournament. I know a lot of our viewers feel the same way. This has been one of those, I saw that, we talked about it yesterday a little bit, that daily limit that Such talked about, how this lake actually compares to a Florida lake. It is a situation where you have to outfish the angler that is directly next to you, and that's what you're seeing go down with your leaders here in Anchor Bay today.
Takumi Ito has had an incredible northern record. But you want to talk about an incredible record.
Yeah.
He is an Elite Series rookie from Japan, Hoya Fujita. And man, what an incredible 4 Angler of the Year titles in Japan. But what he's, I mean, I don't remember. It's hard to believe he's not leading Rookie of the Year.
He's 13. He won his first Angler of the Year title in Japan when he was 8. Watching Koya Fujita right here. And the thing is, I got to hear you talk about this. Koya Fujita, a lot of your other leaders around him. Obviously, a lot of finesse. Good one right there earlier today. You made the comment that he intimidates a lot of the other Japanese anglers a little bit. You said you've noticed that. And I watched it yesterday. And you're right. He walks by, he squints at them, kind of gives them an eye like, I'm here to play. Like, listen, I can tell you, Taku scurried away from him yesterday after the weigh-in until Taku weighed in.
The Japanese prince of bass angling, Koya Fujita, was highly touted coming here, and he is living up to that reputation. Unbelievable. And let's get out on the water live right now. How about we go? You think we can get a ticket? You want to go to Smallmouth Disneyland?
Been on the ride all week long, friendo.
I think.
About him referring to his big fish as his Zona. Good
Yeah,
feeling
I
or
took
not?
offense to it. You know,
Well,
Taku's
imagine.
gonna. I'm gonna tell you what Taku's gonna do. He's gonna fool around with me. He's gonna find out, Dave. Okay.
I can attest to that.
Taku pops off like that in an Irish bar on the west side of Detroit. There's gonna be a problem. Okay.
Not so big.
For the record,
Yeah.
I one of my first thoughts when you walked up here this week was I'm like, Z is dropping some LBs, looking svelte.
I'm trying.
I mean, I didn't say anything because it makes me think about my mess of a body, but I did think it.
I started lifting again, getting back on it, getting ready for training camp. Got some serious fantasy football drafts going to take place.
Oh, and you do.
I think I need more.
Good one right there for Taku. Scary. That may not even help him. Going to look at your TH Marine Weather Watch. Talked about how critical sun was. Got to hear that backstage with so many anglers on during Friday's weigh-in. By the way to get through that weigh-in yesterday, Dave. That was one heck of a popper that came through here.
Little bit cold.
Cloudy. We've definitely got some breaks, though, in those clouds. Very pleasant temperatures. Highs right around high 70s tomorrow. They're saying cloudy, but I'm going to disagree with that. I think we're going to see pretty much the same day tomorrow with a little bit more sun about midday. Little bit lighter winds. That is your TH Marine Weather Report. I'm going to pluralize it. We're going to take some maps over to Joey Cifuentes. Right across the shipping channel.
Favorite moment of the weigh-in yesterday. I don't know if you caught it, but I mean, there was pretty intense lightning and thunder. And one was like when it was one of those thunder strikes that's real close, real loud. Lisa Talmadge, our tournament director, fearless leader, that's been lifting hundreds of pounds of bass, physically jumped at least a foot off. Like did a little spin.
There was some bad lightning. And what was amazing to me as you were trying to push the anglers along is when they would get on stage and it's how they were catching them as it looked like a Metallica concert in the background.
Boy, Cowboy hooked up.
Dave, you know I like the black top, black bottoms. I'm gonna call him the Sandstorm. I mean, he is a carpenter.
There was a heated debate on recently in social media because, well, I questioned whether he was. Are you really a cowboy? And, I mean, he's got a couple of brands on his body. He's ridden a bull. I mean, all these things make me feel like he's a legit cowboy.
I've always questioned it, though, myself.
Then others were like, no, he is not a cowboy. He is a rancher.
Yeah, there's a big difference, too, friendo. I spent a lot of time in South Texas, and I can tell you what Joey Cifuentes is not.
Wow.
We need to do this again sometime.
Oh, yeah, but I don't think they'll ever allow us. I think this will be. We have an FS1 segment tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Yeah, it should work out well.
Try tune in if they let us. Probably tell us it's technical difficulties. You guys we'll just put you back on the internet.
Pretty critical bass right here with Joey Cifuentes.
It ain't a 5-pounder. But it's a fish.
Kind of shows you, though, taking a look at that. Looks like a heavy three, maybe get lucky and be a light. Yeah. Give him a lot of credit, though. He has had that area to himself all tournament long. Sandstorm getting it done.
Man. When it jumped, I thought maybe it was a good one. Yeah, it's 3.5 pounder.
How does the cowboy hat stay on?
I was wondering how he runs with that, especially today with the wind that we had. But props to him, getting it done with the hat, getting it done on the South Shore. By the way, he was across the Canadian line where Maps to Joyce Fuentes just a hair off. But looking at that leaderboard, here's the one thing you could say going in as at least of right now, and it looks like it. We're going to have one of the closer Lake St. Clair tournaments in a long time, Dave Mercer.
Look at how much it's going to take to get inside the top 10, and that's all on official weights, and a lot of fishing still to come from the Avco Bassmaster Elite at Lake St. Clair. Takumi Ito and Koya Fujita trading blows.
Honoring past achievements as we step into the future. Make the best better. That's what we do. Radically redefined, the NRX Plus is the culmination of our obsessive drive